Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today. I have a pretty cool deck to share. It's one that you've probably come across already. I'm sure you can guess what it is based on the thumbnail and title of this video. But it is a deck that I've had a lot of success with, both in Conquest, on ladder, even in tournament setting. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to try to help you understand some of the play patterns. It's kind of a simplistic deck in many ways, but there are some things to think about in terms of retreating and thinking about the opponent's deck and such. But yeah, sorry for the absence, sorry for not making videos that often recently, guys. I've been on a bit of a hiatus, a lot of personal stuff going on. I've also been expanding my knowledge and learning a lot of new things. And in terms of that segues nicely into today's sponsor. If you want to learn new things in the same way that I've been doing, then I recommend you check out today's sponsor, which is Brilliant. Brilliant has sponsored this channel for several months now, and it is the go-to way to learn a bunch of very, very important skills. Things like maths, data science, computer science, STEM subjects that are really important in today's world. It's a very fun and interactive platform which you can use on your tablet, your mobile device, or your computer, depending on what your preference there is, and you can, of course, spend as little or as much time as you want diving into these interesting topics. Even with, so let's say, 15 minutes a day, you could be learning a lot of these new skills and broadening your horizons. If we're talking about Snap and what relates to gaming and Snap in general, I would recommend highly learning a bit about data science. I know this is something Dara JN, the Snap streamer, is very much into. If you can analyze the Marvel Snap meta, using these sort of data science skills, then maybe that can give you a bit of an advantage when it comes to building decks and in the game and such. Whatever your skill level is, whether you're very new to certain STEM topics and these kind of concepts, these ideas, or if you're a veteran and you've been learning, you've been at university or whatever it might be, and there is something for you when it comes to Brilliant. So I would highly recommend giving it a shot. Hopefully it can help you in your career or just in general in life, making you a more enlightened and interesting individual. So if you do want to try out Brilliant, then you can get a free 30-day trial and 20% off an annual plan by visiting my link, brilliant.org/FreddyBabes. And yeah, get learning with Brilliant. So thank you very much to them for sponsoring the video, and now we can get back to the deck. So we have a Shuri deck. Shuri is a deck that I've not actually featured on this channel at all, I believe. I guess I've played a bit of Red Skull, just sort of value stuff in the past. I used to come up with some, Red Skull brews, played some in tournaments and things like that, but big fan of Red Skull as a card because it's just a huge chunky stat line. You can use it with 0. With Shuri decks, not going to be so much a thing. We want to be just playing Shuri on turn 4, Red Skull turn 5. In many ways, Shuri is a very simple deck. You just want to play usually on curve, although skipping turn 1 a lot of the time, because you have these 1-drops that you play at the end of the game, things like the Titania, the Ebony Maw, are very good on turn 6 alongside a Taskmaster. But yeah, we're going to want to curve out with the Armor or Invisible Woman. That's going to protect the Shuri lane from things like Shang-Chi. There's certainly things that can get you if you've got Enchantress and Shang coming in a Serra deck, for example. That can be a problem. But yeah, otherwise you get a bit of protection on your turn 2. You then have turn 3 Sauron, which enables things like Typhoid Mary and Red Skull to be really, really powerful, to be at their sort of maximum power level. So quite often you're going to want to snap when you have this nice powerful curve of Armor, Sauron, Shuri. Shuri turn 4 is really powerful, really important. If you miss it, you can play Typhoid Mary and still sometimes, come out on top, depending on how the locations and the cards fall in the game. But yeah, you want to go Shuri turn 4, and then whatever 5-drop or even a Typhoid Mary on turn 5, if you don't have Red Skull or Vision that you want to use with that Shuri on turn 5. So you're going to get that big Shuri lane, get that big unit, and then of course Taskmaster is usually your finisher on the final turn with maybe an Ebony Maw for that 1 mana 7 power. Very powerful play in conjunction with a 28-point Taskmaster. It's just a combination that's super, super strong, really requires the opponent to be running cards that punish greedy decks, things like Shang-Chi, Valkyrie, or requires that the opponent is even more greedy than you, so doing some kind of, I don't know, crazy Phoenix Force shenanigans, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, control decks can be very painful. They can be difficult to deal with. There are ways to beat them. You have to be very, you know, aware of what's going on. You have to not invest too many cubes. Perhaps you have to retreat against those styles of decks. But yeah, Shuri, I'm a big fan of. I played it in tournament. I think it was a great tournament pick for the most recent tournament that I played in. Unfortunately, I didn't win the tournament. But Shuri, I think as a deck, was performing very well, even in an environment where there were a lot of decks that were countering it. So yeah, I'm going to jump into some battle mode, and we'll see what we can do with good old Shuri. I'll you know, show you some of the play patterns, the retreating, snapping kind of deal. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, here we go. Let's get into a bit of battle mode and see what we can do with Shuri. Okay, we've got Ebony Maw. We could play it because with New York we can move stuff around and it's not super awkward. There's definitely an argument to play it in this sort of a situation. I think I probably will go with it here. Just frees me up if I do end up drawing a Sauron or something like that on the turn 3. Might not be that relevant, might not be a great play. Okay, we did draw Sauron, perfect. I will go with the armor then as well. I suppose I'll play it in the unrevealed location. But we may want to even go with a snap, depending on what we see from the opponent. We want to try to... Ooh. Okay, random Scarlet Witch. That's a bit unfortunate. And Jotunheim. Yeah, okay. These are not locations that we really want to see much of right now. So I'll play it out a little. I'll just try to see what the opponent's got going on and then probably go for a retreat in this particular one. It looks like Bishop, so most likely that's going to be bounce, I would say. Which is, you know, pretty strong. Not the best of matchups. Maybe it's more like Serra control if they're playing Sentinel. Some kind of Serra version. Not necessarily with Beast, not necessarily with bounce. Now I am tempted to go with Red Skull here and actually just push it to the limit, but you know, we're not giving that much away, and perhaps there is a scenario where we can win here. I think it's unlikely, yeah. Serra comes down, so we're going to have to contend with, you know, Shang-Chi and all kinds of stuff. I could have gone Vision there, of course. I'm just going to retreat this one, though. And jump into the next battle. See if we can, you know, get a bit of an advantage going. Definitely Serra is a bit of an issue for Sauron. You know, they can do potentially Enchantress and Shang-Chi on the same turn, which is quite scary because it can deal with my armor, you know, which is sort of going to be the main way that we survive stuff. But perhaps we can get a weird... Ooh, Weird World's interesting. I think we probably want to take a snap on that. That location should sort of favor me. The Typhoid Mary is not the best thing to hit with Shuri, but we know my deck's not functioning that well when it doesn't have the Shuri. So that should kind of be good for me. I've got Sentinel now as well, so we'll try to take, you know, a little bit more cubes away from the opponent. Okay, the hub comes in as well. Not the best card ever, the Punisher. I probably will play it here just because it's seems like the most value. Better than playing, you know, just a 3. Maybe the armor would have been worthwhile to play, but we can probably play that a bit later, I'm thinking. Ooh, Viper Ebony Maw. The opponent's getting some gnarly cards from the hub, but to be honest, the Ebony Maw's hopefully going to move across at some point. That's what I'm hoping here. That would be very, very good for me. Kind of tempting to just go Shuri into Typhoid and then armor up with, you know, Sentinel Hit Monkey or something, or Titania or whatever at the end. I think that's just going to be my line here, and just pray that we hit the 1 and 3. Okay, not going to happen, but, you know, we're getting Punisher value at least. That is a Serra. We could just play Serra now. Never mind, it's got the Sauron effect on it, so that's not going to work very well for me. I could play the Nova here in case they have a Killmonger. Kind of don't love it. It's not a very strong play in many ways. We'll just go for the Typhoid here, I think. And, you know, make sure I have some space on the board here at the end. Does look like we have the priority here, so that's really important. We can use armor to stop the opponent Shang-Chiing me. We've got to be careful of Mysterio over here. They've got basically 10 points, so I need a further 4. They've actually gone with a snap here. Maybe because they have Shang-Chi and they feel like it's an easy victory in the middle location, but we have something up our sleeve here, don't we? So, yeah, I think something like, yeah, hit monkey mid. Something like this should be good. Of course, we've got to keep in mind that the Typhoid Mary is negating my strength a bit, but it should be enough to win on the left. Yeah, I think we should be in a good spot here. Unless Killmonger's a bit of a threat, isn't it? Killmonger's a bit of a threat. So I think because of the Killmonger threat, Titania should go here and the Hitmonkey should go here. Yeah, that seems better. Now the only problem now is Titania. How many cards will they play here? If they play 2, we don't want to give them the Titania. We want to do this, I believe. Then if they play 1 card, they get it, but they're probably going to play 2 and they won't get it. Okay, lots of things going on here, but I think this is the correct line. They actually only play 1 card, okay. Probably a Shang though, right? So I think we're beating that every time. Even though we're going to give them Titania. I was just figuring if they play multiple cards middle, which they might do, because they got Bishop on the right, then we want to, you know, stop the Titania from switching. So, yeah, played that pretty well, I think. And we even played around the Killmonger that they could have in the deck. So we take a nice 8-cuber, and I think it's going to put the opponent in a really tough spot, isn't it? Going to be hard for them to win this particular battle. Next round. We've only lost 1 cube so far. We've really limited the losses. That's good. Kitty Pryde coming down. I've seen quite a fair bit of their deck now as well. And they're going with a snap. I'm pretty tempted. I'm just going to go with a retreat here. Just play it safe. These locations are not particularly good for me. I'm not very good at Mojo World. Opponent can get a lot of units in there and they can maybe destroy mine. I don't have armor, I don't have Shuri. So I'm gonna retreat. Okay, this time we've got Shuri. So we can maybe make something happen. The Rock might be good for me. Depends if we can like hit one of our good cards. If not, then that might be a problem. But for now we'll just play a little safe. I'm scared of Nidavellir a bit because there's the potential for, you know, Killmonger to come in. Definitely with the Nova being in their deck, it's a real threat. I could retreat this one as well. I do have the Shuri Red Skull Taskmaster though, so if they don't have Shang, I think we have a very real shot at winning. And they might also not draw Killmonger, so I think I'm gonna play this one out. I'll go for 0 Rock in the middle location. Just going to give myself a chance to win the game here. Gonna put my eggs in the subterranean basket, I suppose you could say. But yeah, Killmonger's going to easily win Nidavellir for them, so we're going to be relying on Shuri and whatnot to win a second location. Definitely a bit risky, a bit... Okay, we've got Invisible Woman. That makes for an interesting scenario here. We can go Invisible Woman, we can then go Shuri right. We could also just play Invisible Woman in middle, honestly. Get a bit more of a presence there, but it's not going to matter too much. Yeah, I think I like it. I mean, I could use it to protect the Shuri Red Skull and stuff, but then I won't be able to Taskmaster, so it feels a bit pointless, really. Okay, they actually have Scarlet Witch in the deck. It's something that you do sometimes see. Okay, I'll play a rock here, and then I'll play Shuri. Perfect. You know, we've got a bit of a presence. We're probably losing the, you know, Nidavellir, but I'm just going to try to win the other two and hope that the opponent's drawn a lot of rocks. It's definitely a bit of a dicey situation, but we can't lose too many cubes, so I'm kind of feeling okay about it. I could have taken a free retreat this round. It might have been correct. I don't know. Kind of difficult to say. But yeah, definitely going to go for Red Skull at this point. Fortunately, we can't play Ebony Maw. That's a dead card for us here. And the middle looks very lost no matter what we do, so it's really going to come down to whether or not they can outpower us in the left with something like a Shang. Perhaps we can even find armor and deny the Shang, because they've now used Enchantress. They have no Sarah. There's definitely a winning chance here. I suppose we're always drawing Chavez though, which probably losing, but let's see. Maybe they can't outpower us on the left. A little bit optimistic. If they don't have Shang, that we might be able to win. There's certainly a possibility. They might go Shang right. Yeah, they went Shang right just to deal with us there. And a Killmonger as well. Yeah, makes sense. Definitely a tough matchup for us. This is probably one of the worst case matchups for you to play against with this deck, truth be told. But we've got a lot of chances. We've got a lot of bullets now that we won that big 8-cuber. So let's just keep it going. You know, we're just trying to find one victory. Don't need the highest win rate. We've seen a lot of their deck. In fact, we've seen pretty much all of it. We know they have Killmonger, Shang, Enchantress, which is kind of what, you know, I said was expected at the beginning. Sauron, Shuri, and Vision. That's really good for us. Maybe we use a Vision this game, honestly. Because, okay, well, Dream Dimension. It's going to ruin those plans for us, unfortunately. If I play Sauron, it makes my armor a lot worse. But they're not going to have access to Sarah this game. So I'm kind of cautiously optimistic. I could also go... No, I think I still have to play for them not having Shang, to be honest. It's just the only way I see us winning here. Stuff's going to be very expensive on this turn 5, actually. It's got double Dream Dimension. Yeah, it's definitely not super good for me. So perhaps we want to just go with something crappy like a 0. Oh man, this is just rubbish. I guess I chill for now and I just play, you know, Typhoid 0 Titania at the end. It's quite a solid final turn, actually. And we're kind of chilling in terms of priorities, so they can't Shang me or anything like that. It's going to be quite hard for them to output a lot of strength, I feel like. I'd imagine their last card might be Mysterio. I don't think I've seen their last card, but yeah, we're going to go Typhoid here. Gives us 22 strength, that's a lot, that should win us that location. Where do we want the rest of our power? Probably over here. Probably we just jam it all in the right, because they'll probably be afraid that the left can be taken. I don't really want to split my strength here, I think. They can't play that many cards, so the bishop shouldn't grow that much. I think I like this. I think we've got a good shot of winning. They have actually played... well, hopefully the Mysterio is going in the left. I suppose we're probably, yeah, we're just about not quite enough in the right, unfortunately. Couldn't quite take it there. If I had an Ebony Maw, then I think we would have won this. I guess I could have also gone with the 0 Titania left. Didn't really expect them to play any power in the right, to be honest. I feel like that was a bit of a questionable decision from the opponent, but... you know, fair enough. Fair enough. I could have won with the tiebreaker, but... yeah, we might actually be getting knocked down here. We've got a Mindscape. That's good for us. Mindscape's good for me. We can avoid the Shangs and things like that at the end of the game. So that's really important, I think. I would quite like to give them a rock here. I'm going to go for the 0 Titania play. And then probably follow up with armor as well. Protect us from Killmonger. It's very decently strong. We want to just try to empty our hand. Perhaps playing the Typhoid Mary. Oh, District X as well. Okay, well, we're finding ways to win against this opponent. We probably shouldn't have won this matchup, but should be okay for us. We survived the Killmonger thanks to armor. That's very nice. Give him a rock as well. I'll probably just end up... Oh, yeah, I think I'll just play Nick Fury. It seems kind of better than playing the Typhoid here. Don't really want to take away all the strength that I have in the middle location. And I think if we just play a solid, you know, value, get some solid value going, then we should be okay. The opponent's not got too much going for them. I suppose I am actually giving, you know, now that I think about it, I am giving them a lot of cards to use at the end of the game, which is not what I would call ideal, necessarily. I suppose I'll play Red Skull. Let's see what the opponent gives me. It's not that good. Maybe Shanna would have been better in some way, but we'll see. Cautiously optimistic. I mean, the Kitty Pryde, I guess, doesn't come to me, unfortunately. So that's quite powerful. They can use that with a Red Skull. Oh god, am I losing this? Doctor Doom, they're aware of me having, but I still kind of have to play it. I guess we're probably losing this one. I think they can output a lot of strength here. I mean, I guess maybe Red Skull plus Kitty Pryde's not enough. Because they do also need power in the right location. Interesting. Interesting. I maybe shouldn't have played Nick Fury. It might have been better to go Typhoid Mary, but to be honest, we'll... Only one way to find out, really. Battle mode is very interesting, you know, you get a lot of, you know, it doesn't matter too much on the win rate, it's all about the cube rate, it's all about the correct retreats. Okay, what have they got? They're just playing 2 cards in the left, sorry. Gonna be Shanna, okay, makes sense, although they could have had an extra unit left. No, that is gonna be enough. That is gonna be enough for them. Yep, the Kitty Pryde there was really strong and it didn't you know, wasn't susceptible to Mindscape. The opponent might just be winning this. Can we win one game here? We had a chance. We kind of missed out on the 50-50, unfortunate. Bit scary here, honestly. Maybe we'll come down to some vision mind games. But we'll see. I'm not going to play Ebony Maw. We know they have a Killmonger, so... playing it is a bit pointless, really. Okay, lots of cards being drawn. I suppose the Raptors can be good for me, but I'm a little bit afraid. Altar of Death. Now that is interesting. Now that might swing things in my favor here, because we can get into that location with a vision. So we've won one location for sure, pretty much. I can go for an Ebony Maw here. And I guess I want to go for the Invisible Woman as well. Something like this. I'll play the Ebony Maw just to get the extra mana so I can play Vision. I shouldn't need a lot of power in the Altar of Death. They've already used Scarlet Witch. This should be good for me. This should be good for me. Now, of course, they're going to have a lot of mana, but provided that the opponent has priority, it should be okay. Might be difficult for them to have it, we'll see. I mean, the Sarah, you know, might cause a bit of an issue. But yeah, I'm going to play Vision. I'm going to play the Vision here. And then I'll follow up with Shuri. I should have probably played Invisible Woman on the left, now that I think about it. But I don't think it matters too much. I mean, yeah, shouldn't really be the end of the world. But yeah, I should have played it on the left because then I could Shuri middle. I kind of had a bit of a brain fart there, unfortunately. Let's give ourselves a bit of extra mana. Or do we even want extra mana, actually? I could go for, you know, Red Skull Sauron or something at the end, but probably just having the Titania at the end is better, in all honesty. So I'll do this. There's certainly something to be afraid of here, you know, if they actually don't gain priority. We'll see what happens exactly here. Looks like they didn't gain priority, so now we have some really interesting decisions to make. Ooh, okay, so What are they gonna play? I mean, they can play a lot of stuff. How many cards? 6 cards. This Shuri, if we assume there's a Shang coming, I mean, they have to Shang in the left. They have to. So I think we just win by making a play like this. Getting 11 points. The Shang can come. It might depend where... Oh, this is tricky. It might actually come down to where exactly the Mysterio, the real Mysterio is. Because they're going to have 14 points. And I'm going to have a total of 13. So we would lose in the left. Not great. Not great news, I'll be completely honest. I could also go for a play of trying to win the Savage Land, but that seems a bit optimistic. This is a tough one, guys. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. They have to play Shang left. And then I can just hope that the Mysterio, the real one, is here. I think I'm gonna hope. Let's go. Let's go. I think we should be winning this. I'm gonna, you know, really try to make the correct line here and get the win. Let's see if we've got it. Where is the real Mysterio? Aha! It was middle, of course. Lovely. Okay, we managed to win just about. Cutting it a little bit close there, but yeah, that is one of the most horrific matchups for this deck. So if you can win this matchup, then, you know, shows the power of Shuri. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed a bit of Shuri action. I'm not exactly sure what comes next, what I'll be doing if I'll make that many videos. Yeah, lots of stuff going on at the moment in life, but hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and I'll see you next time.